Hey, welcome to 9 Minutes Motivation at 9 a.m. I am Deepak here, and my life is beautiful and I stay on top of the world because I work as worship. A very important lesson I learned in Sikkim wandering monks. Very important. I think it gave me a lot of peace, a lot of liberation, a lot of clarity, and more than that, a lot of strength. Either I'll share with you, and especially today's 9 minutes motivation is actually for all of you who have tremendous faith in some god or some place or some person. People basically are driven by faith, and I think there are two kind of people. People who are atheists and people who are theists. People who have faith and people who do not have faith. They just think they are responsible for whatever they are going through, and they just hold on to that. And I think it's much more peaceful if you see that. But then there is very limited strength they have, because your personal strength has its own limitations, and there's very few people who are in that category. But people who are faith, people of faith, because they have this additional strength that they derive from that unknown deity or unknown god, or that something higher on that whom they have imposed faith. So they derive a lot of extra energy strength from other. So this 9 minutes motivation basically is to give more clarity to those people who have faith in something, whatever it may be, something or someone. One of the tricky thing about faith is, in the initial years of growing in faith or living in faith or out of faith, it is always a faith of expectation that we have always discussed. That faith of expectation always will be very tricky. You should always have faith of acceptance. This is all we have learned in some other avenues, including 9 minutes motivation. I have spoken about it. Now, when we have this faith of expectation, we expect God will take care of, things will happen in my favor, and we have that faith, and we keep doing things towards it. Or a lot of time we keep praying for things to happen, and we have seen, all of us who have driven by faith, who live out of faith, in faith, we have seen results happening. We have seen miracles. We have seen sometime it gets delayed, but it happens, and all this we have seen. One thing which I realized in the Sikkim wandering monks was this: if you really have faith in your faith, and you know your faith is very strong, powerful, and you have always seen things happening for you in your life. Oh, there are those times when things just does not happen, and it happens to almost everybody. Even those people who have just got aligned with faith, or just started developing this relationship with the eternity or infinite or God or that unknown, so this beautiful thread of faith is one thing you will encounter in this journey with that higher. What I realized was this: if what I'm wanting to do in life, or what I'm expecting to happen in my life, and I want God's grace for it, or I want God's energy to work in my favor, all this is still not happening. It only gives a signal that you have still not done what you can do. You still not have turned that stone which can be turned by you. You still not have explored something that is there. Because one more understanding that I have faith of this is, of faith is this is, only when the man's responsibility ends, his will begin. Until you have not done complete justice to the responsibility that you are supposed to be doing for that, whatever it may be, it can be an event, it can be a experience, it can be anything. If you have not done responsibly everything that is required for it to be done, with your present maturity, with borrowed maturity, with other people's help, everything, till then God does not intervene. Till then he doesn't start working on it. Simply going on praying, thinking, I'm not able to do this. Can you please do it for me? That doesn't work in faith. Or if the result that you're expecting is not happening, it is getting delayed, and getting delayed is not happening. It only is a signal that there is something which you can do, which you haven't done yet, or you have not done enough yet. You should do more. Yes, one thing is all about timing also, that अभी time नहीं आया है, or it's not yet due for you. It can be anything, as simple as you uh, plant a seed and it will become uh, plant, and then right time fruits will come. But till then you have to keep doing it. I also understand there is a beautiful dimension called time that plays a part, but we don't know when the time is. And sometimes we feel, I think I deserve it, I think I'm worthy of it, and still it's not happening. Then I think one thing that you have to look into is there something that you should do, or you should have done, and you have not yet explored it? Once you get this clarity, I think the expectation from God is reduced and expectation from yourself is increased. Because every time the expectation from you is increased, his trust in you also increases. The more your expectation from his keep increasing, his trust in you start reducing. Isn't it a very insightful insight? The more you start expecting more, even after you have faith, you still expect, I think I can still do something from my side. The more you start expecting more from yourself, his trust in you start increasing. I think that is more important. As much as your trust in him is important, his trust in you is much more important to you for things to happen in your life. And the more you start expecting from God, and you don't end up doing what you should be doing from your side, which is still unexplored, which is still untouched by you, it is still not, that stone is still not unturned by you, it's not turned by you, then I think somewhere God's trust in you start reducing. He starts saying that, or start feeling, I'm just trying to play the God scene, and that's it. He starts feeling he's sitting and doing nothing, trusting me, and he is not doing what he is actually capable of. There are so many options in front of him or her which he or she is not willing to see or not able to see. Then how does it make sense for me to come and help this person? Because what he can do, why should I do? And God works on this simple system. The life works on simple system. What you can do, he will not. What you can do, he will not do. Only when something in front of you, you know you cannot, that is when he will. But for that, you have to make sure that. And how? What is the signal here? Simple signal is there. If in your faith you realize the things that you're expecting to happen in your life is still not happening, much after doing a lot of things, much after all your prayers, after everything, still not happening, which means there is still a scope for you to expect a little more from you, and find out what else can be done, what more can be done, what next can be done, whose help can be taken. Maybe you have to explore something more, because only when your responsibility gets over, he will take over and his will start. That belief, that, check it out, let's start this beautiful day. Here we go. So guys, go, get set, and go.